Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's fourth and final video. So day 10 is going to take us around the 27th of July. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe around a couple of weeks. Have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That's going to take us into the second half, up to the middle of August anyway. Don't think quite getting the second half of August yet with CFS, but up to the middle of the month. Right, so I should get on with that for you in a second. Just say that the first video released today was our 7 AM upload. We also released the ECM to 6 weeks forecast and also weekend forecast as well. Been a busy old day at GavsWeatherVids today. Please check out all the videos. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. If you're a channel member and you're around the channel at 5 PM, we're going to have a channel members live stream. It's a little bit delayed from the start of the month, but channel members live stream coming up at 5 PM. So if you are a channel member, then check in to your channel members live stream and we'll hang out for an hour and we'll have a bit of a chat. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what's coming up tomorrow at the end of the video. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. Having a lovely afternoon. It's very, very warm out there. So, you know, proper summer afternoon. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Right, okay, let's have a look then. Let's start off with the latest temperature observations from XC Weather. Here we go, Ben. Got 28 degrees flashing away in several locations. We're up to 28 degrees at Wellersbourne Airfield there in the Midlands, and also eastern parts of England. Humberside is up to 28 degrees. We've also got Linton on Ouse up to 28 degrees. We've got Leeming at 28 degrees. Going a little bit further north to Teesside, 28 degrees. Quite unusual actually to have the highest temperatures like in the east and in the northeast and not in the southeast. Let's see what Heathrow's doing. So Farnborough's at 25, Heathrow's at 25, so quite unusual that, isn't it, to get like Teesside hotter than London. I'm not sure what explains that, other than maybe there's a bit of a sea breeze coming in from the Thames estuary or something. But that is quite unusual. Right, let's have a look at a few more locations then. So we've got Shobdon at 26 degrees into Wales. We've got Lake Berwyn at 25. We've got Sennybridge at 24. We've got Capelcurry 25 degrees as well, so into mid-20s across the Wales. Southwest England is up to 26 degrees, Northwick and also Cunningham at 26 degrees. And again, further north still, Albemarle is at 25, over to Belfast, 26 degrees there, very hot for Belfast. I mean, up to Scotland, we've got Inverbervie at 25 degrees. I do struggle with some of these locations, as I'm sure you've realised. There are a few, but I just avoid like the plague, to be honest, and I don't go anywhere near them, as I'm sure you've noticed, particularly about places in Wales that I got into terrible trouble with in February 2019 trying to pronounce. I'm off on a tangent, so sorry everybody. Aberdeen is at 25, we've got Aviemore at 22, a little bit cooler across western Scotland. Loch Glascarnock is at 17 degrees and Stornoway is at 17. So if you don't like the heat, get to the Outer Hebrides. That's where it's much more comfortable because it is a lot cloudier there. Otherwise, it's a very warm, hot afternoon. And there's a further hour or so of warming still to go. So somewhere might pop up to around 30 degrees in the next hour. That is 86 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow will definitely hit 30 plus though, even if today doesn't quite get to 30. Right, central temperature is looking like this. So the CET is currently standing at 17.2. That is provisional to yesterday, the 16th of July. It's 1.4 degrees above average. Very similar anomaly to June, which was 15.5, and again that was 1.4 degrees above average. Obviously that's going to go up further once like the next few days is taken into account. I'm unsure whether this is going to hit 18 degrees or not. It might do, actually. There is going to be a little bit of a cooling off for the early middle part of next week, but probably not as much as we thought like a day or so ago. So there is a chance, I think, with this. But say by around Wednesday, we might see this getting to around 18 degrees. I think there's a possibility we could do. Now, I think it's going to be quite difficult to hold it there, however, because as you're going to see in a moment, the last days of July are probably going to see the weather turning a little bit cooler, a little bit more unsettled. If that doesn't happen, though, then we could get an 18 Celsius CT month. It's not impossible, but we might get an 18 Celsius CT July. But I think it's going to be, a tall order. Yeah, it's going to be a tall ask to do that. I've got a feeling the CT will come in somewhere in the mid to upper 17s. So 17.5 to, let's say, 17.9, something like that. Which, as you see, it's like half a degree shorter of 18 degrees. So it's not impossible we could come away with an 18 Celsius CT month. I have not spoken to my friend Global Warming, aka or Simon, aka Global Warming, at the Weather Outlook Forum, who is the keeper of solar, keeper of the CT thread over there. So I have not spoken to Simon, so I don't know what he's projecting, and it would be nice to know. I'll have to see if I can get hold of him, see what he's projecting. But I think it's going to be a struggle to get to 18 degrees, but we're not going to be all that far from it. I thought we'd have a look at the CT for July, and just sort of refresh ourselves of what's happened over the past year. So, of course, central temperature is the oldest and most reliable temperature record anywhere on Earth. It goes all the way back to 1659. Of course, the further back you go, the more unreliable it gets. So it's only a snapshot of what the weather conditions, temperature conditions would have been like in the 1700s and so on. But nevertheless, it's an indication, and the more recent years, of course, in the last century or two, that's much more reliable. So let's come down to the current year, which of course is 2021. Been a strange year of weather so far. We start off with quite a cold January at 3.1. Then we have a mild February and March, even though February contains the coldest week of the winter overall. We have our coldest April since 1986, followed by our coldest May since 1996, and then we have a much warmer than average June. July's temperature is going to be placed in there. If I'm right, that'll be somewhere in the mid to upper 17. So how does that compare with past years? Well, last year, of course, we had quite a cool July, actually, at 15.7. It was actually a little bit cooler than average July 2020, which I think we forget because it ended on a very, very, very hot note. We had a real heat spike in the closing days of July 2020, which everybody remembers. They forget that for most of the month, actually, it was quite cool, and not particularly warm at all. And that was followed by a warm August at 17.6. We almost had an 18 Celsius CT August, just the last week of the month that let it down. Before that, of course, we have 2019, which contains the hottest recorded day at Cambridge Botanical Gardens, the good old Botanical Gardens at Cambridge, recording the hottest day where it goes up to 39 degrees on the 25th of July 2019. Actually, for the month overall, though, July 2019 for the CT, not all that impressive. It is a very warm, hot month at 17.5, but you will think that a month that contains like the hottest day on record would be like an 18 or even 19 Celsius CT month. It was not. It was actually 17.5. That's because before that heat wave at the end of, or towards the last stages of July 2019, it was relatively mixed. And the closing days were a lot cool as well. Our last really hot July was in 2018. That's when the grass turned brown. And it was just day after day after day of blazing hot sunshine and barely any rain. And that got the CT to 19.1. Wow. Really, really hot in July 2018. I'm sure you remember that very, very clearly. And then August itself, it happens after a hot July. August sort of lets slide down and drops back to 16.6. And there's more rain. But it was a bit of a welcome relief. 18 Celsius CT July last happened in 2013, 18.3, so we're probably due at 18 Celsius CT July, to be honest. The hottest July on record is, excuse me, so sorry everyone, hottest July on record is some time ago now, in 2006, when we had a central temperature of 19.7. So July 2018 just falls short, actually, of July 2006. But again, it was pretty close to it, just like half a degree short. Going a little bit further back, what else can we look at? So, of course, we had two very hot Julys in the 1990s. We have July 1995 at 18.6, July 1994 at 18.0. Our very first 19 Celsius CT month and July, and for a long time till 2006, was the hottest month on record, was in 1983. Had a central temperature of 19.5. So since 1983, we've had like 2 more Julys with 19 Celsius CT in 2006 and 2018, as well as 1 August, and that is just here, just there, 1995. At 19.2. So just 1 August, 3 Julys with CTs in the 90s. Obviously, this July is going to be nowhere near a 19 Celsius CT month. It is going to struggle, I think, to be an 18 Celsius CT month, but I wouldn't totally rule out the possibility. On the cold side, let's have a look at a couple of colder July, shall we? And then we'll move on. I hope you find this little look at the history of July interesting. So let's have a look, shall we? Where's 2012? That had a central temperature of 15.5. Pretty cool in July 2012. 2007 had a CT of 15.2. So, of course, that was a deluge month. The last time we had a July under 15 Celsius, we were CT under 15 Celsius, was a very long time ago now. It was way back in 1988. The last time we had a July with a CT under 15, that had a CT of 14.7. The coldest July of the 20th century is 1922, with an absolutely atrocious CT of 13.7. So just imagine how bad that would be. That's like an average sort of CT for September, for example. So that must have been a really, really bad, July, mustn't it? And also, the coldest July that I've been able to find, and someone will correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I had a quick whiz through the CT before I started the video. The coldest July that I've been able to find on record, colder even than 1922, was way back in 1801, I think. So have I got that wrong? No, I've got that wrong, I think. Let's see if I can go further. That was it, 1701. There is a July that I noticed that had a CT in the low. So no, that's quite a hot July, 18.3. There is a July there that has a central England temperature in the low 14s, but I can't seem to find it. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So down here. Ah, that was just there, I think. No, 14.12. No, there's one that's got a July CT in the low 13s. It's possibly that one. 1816. July CT of 13.4. That's the year without a summer. I think that's the one. 13.4, that's a year without sun. That's when Tambora went off and caused dramatic cooling. And that is the year, in 1816, that is the classic year without a summer. It just poured with rain due to the cooling effects of Mount Tambora going up. And yeah, so that's the year without a summer. I think that is the coldest July on record at 13.4. But there may be one that's even colder than that, around 13.2. But somebody will correct me in the comments, I'm sure, if I'm wrong about that. But I think that's it. I don't think July has ever had a CT under 13 degrees, by the way. So I don't think there's ever been a July with a CT under 13 degrees. So unlike August, for example, where we get August 1912 at 12.9, I don't think that's ever happened in July. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little look at the CT. So coming back to business mode, down to 2021 again. So I reckon when the number gets placed here, the CT will be coming in somewhere in the mid to upper 17s. There is a possibility of an 18 Celsius CT July, but I think we probably fall a little bit short of it. But I would like to have a chat with my friend Simon on the Weather Outlook forum just to see what he's projecting, because I'm not entirely sure about that. So as soon as I have news about where Simon is projecting the CT for July, I will let everybody know. Right, let's have a look at some forecasting then. So that was a little bit of an interesting way to start the video, wasn't it? Right, let's start off with the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles from a GFS for the next couple of weeks. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're looking at London today. So obviously we're starting off hot at the moment with the upper air temperatures. We're up to 15 degrees at 858 PA. They are going to drop over the next day or two. So tomorrow is the peak of the temperature. And then early next week, we will get a bit of a lowering of the temperature, especially for more eastern areas, going back with the upper air temperature close to average, but still very warm down on the surface. Then we see the temperatures beginning to take off again. Later next week, it will become potentially quite hot again, I think, particularly in the southeast corner around Thursday or Friday. But that is going to be associated with volatility and probably a Thundery breakdown. And then we go into the closing days of July, last days of July into the beginning of August. You see there is clear downwards trend then. Actually, the upper air temperature goes slightly below average, but I think that's a bit overdone. I think the temperature will still be okay. It's not going to be cold in the closing days of July, but it will be cooler, I think. And so that is why I'm thinking that we'll probably fall just short of an 18 Celsius C team up. But it might be quite a close run thing. Precipitation-wise, there's going to be loads of dry weather coming up until the end of the coming week. And then, of course, it looks like we're going to get a Thundery breakdown around Friday and possibly into Saturday. And then after that, the last days of July into the beginning of August, just looking much more unsettled. One interesting thing to notice on this graph is the thick green line. That is the operational run, which does become quite hot at the end of the GFS 6Z operational run today. You're going to see it in a moment. Clearly, it's an outlier. It's not well supported within its ensemble. So just keep that in back of your mind when you see that GFS 6Z operational run in a couple of minutes' time. Temperature anomalies on the 17th, 25th July going to be warmer than average. A very warm week coming up. Hotter than average, you would say, I think, with that anomaly. Precipitation anomalies from the 17th, 25th July going to be drier than average too. Latest wind flow map from earthnorthschool.net shows that we are under an area of high pressure. It's quite a big area of high pressure as well. It's centred right over top of the country with the westerlies, cooler, fresher westerly winds and rain-bearing westerly winds pushed off with jet stream to our north. Okay, let's start going through some generic charts then. So we're going to put webcam back on at this point. So we're going to start off with the UK Met, I think. Let's have a look at that, shall we? UK Met from Weather Outlook. So this is for Tuesday. High pressure is over the top of the country on Tuesday. Into Wednesday, high pressure is still there, sat over the country. Thursday, the high pressure not going anywhere fast. It's still dominating weather, bringing up winds from the south. It looks pretty hot there as we go into the end of next week. Friday, the high pressure just about beginning to hang on to the east coast, but notice low pressure starting to develop to our south-southwest. Now, as this high pressure begins to slip eastwards, it will probably start to pull hotter air back up from France again towards the end of next week. But there will be a growing threat of thunderstorms. And as we go into next weekend, this is midnight to Saturday, it looks by then as though low pressure is taking over, high pressure is slipping away into Central Eastern Europe, and clearly we've got this Thundery low, almost a pincer movement going on, Thundery low coming from the south, another low coming in from the west, turning increasingly volatile, I think, as we get through to next weekend. Could be a big Thundery breakdown. Right, this is how the GFS midnight run is looking. Again, high pressure dominates the weather on Tuesday. This is all covered by weekend forecast, of course. Wednesday, Thursday, all anti-cyclonic days. High pressure beginning to weaken as we go through into midnight on Friday. By midnight on Saturday, there's that Thundery low down to our southwest, starting to push heavy showers and thunderstorms northwards and eastwards across the country, and then we go into this very, what looks like a very, very volatile situation through next weekend with a Thundery trough of low pressure over the country. Expect chance of big storms and pulling cooler air in from the north as that Thundery trough begins to slip in towards the North Sea. Up to day 10, again, looks unsettled with thunderstorms there very close to the country. And then into more extended range, it looks like another Thundery low starts to move in from the Atlantic. So we get through into the 31st of July, last day of the month, long way out now, of course. And we've got another Thundery area of low pressure there. But that might be bringing like more general areas of rain, really, particularly to England and Wales. And it will be quite cool as well, bringing in wind from the north. So that low pressure moves into the North Sea. by the 2nd of August, which is far as we go with the GFS runs today. So that's all changed in the last days of July. Much cooler and much more unsettled. GFS 6 there looks like that. No, this is going to get hot right at the end because we saw it on the ensemble graph, but bear in mind it is a little bit of an outlier. This is how we start off though with 6 there. Tuesday, high pressure is dominating weather. That high pressure carries on through Wednesday and Thursday as well. Loads of dry and warm weather. Friday, that's when we start to break down the ridge. Low pressure begins to move in from the south and southwest, turning increasingly volatile potentially here with heavy showers and thunderstorms becoming widespread. That trough of low pressure is over top of the country by 6 a.m. on Sunday next week. It's a long way off, but if it comes off, it's bringing heavy showers, long spells of rain, and possibly thunderstorms too. Moving up towards day 10, again, we're under this trough of low pressure, looking cooler and also rather volatile, with showers and longer spells of rain, maybe thunderstorms mixed in as well. That low pressure then moves off to Denmark as we get through to Wednesday, 28th of July, and then we start to raise the heights again. So this is how GFS 6 turns hot right at the end of July. It builds up this ridge of high pressure to our north and east with a Thundery low around Biscay. We pull in what could be a very hot south-southeasterly wind if it came off, but again there will be a growing risk of thunderstorms. Upper air temperatures show that we have got some extreme heat over France there on the last day of July, but do keep in mind this is an outlier within the GFS ensembles. We never really get into that extreme heat because this Thundery low sort of keeps it at bay and pushes the extremity of the heat over towards Germany. But very, very thundery and very volatile there at the end of July and into beginning of August. Right, GM is looking like this. If you're enjoying this video, please can you smash the like button to make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you for doing that for us. Right, okay, so this is how the GM is looking. It's also got merch as well, so if you want a bit of GavsWeatherVids merch, and have a browse in the widgets underneath this video on YouTube, and have a browse of the merch, and buy a little bit of merch if you'd like to do that. Right, okay, so this is how the GM looks for midnight on Tuesday. High pressure over the top of the country, brings loads of dry and very warm weather through the middle part of the week. Actually looks quite hot, I would have thought, you know, up to the end of next week. Then this Thundery low starts to move northwards as we get through to next weekend. A little bit delayed compared to GFS bringing this Thundery low in, but eventually it goes in that direction. So next weekend, increasingly volatile, big thunderstorms breaking out, and it could be quite a lot of torrential rain in with that as well. Up to day 10, looks rather showery under a trough of low pressure. So there'll be showers, if not longer spells of rain, and there could be thunder mixed in. And then we've got the ECM, looks like that again. The high pressure's in control of weather through the early to middle part of next week into the end of next week. High pressure is still there, gradually easing away to the east. Takes a while to do so, but eventually by next weekend, in comes this Thundery low from the south and the west. By midnight on Sunday, we're right under the cosh with that thundering area of low pressure. I imagine there'll be a chance of some big storms breaking out with that. And then up to day 10, we just keep it rather showery with a trough of low pressure over top of the country. That'll bring further showers of thunderstorms. Notice there's another pretty deep low in the Atlantic. That looks like it could be moving in our direction beyond day 10. This would be precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Tibetio.com. We have a lot of dry weather, of course, over the next few days. We're under high pressure, although early next week we might actually generate a few heavy showers and thunderstorms down in the south, but I think they'll be pretty scattered. I think most places will miss those. And it's not really until we get to the end of next week and next weekend when we see a growing risk of thunderstorms. Here they come, the first push moving in by Saturday morning next week, and then just increasingly volatile really through next weekend with big showers and thunderstorms pushing up from south, torrential rain mixed in with that as well. Notice by day 10, as far as we get to midnight on 27th of July, by then we've got quite a bit of wet weather just waiting in the wings in the Atlantic. Is that coming our way? Give us a spell of Atlantic wet and windy weather, possibly it would do. Right, let's have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles then. So this is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 27th of July. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure away to our west and also to our north, with something of a trough over to the south of the country. So it's certainly turning more volatile there. You know, the ridge is weakening and we're beginning to cool things down and turn things potentially thundery up to day 10. In 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got. It'll get us to the 1st of August. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensemble showing a mid-Atlantic ridge heading up to Greenland, and this white area is almost certainly a trough in the 500 millibar flow. That will bring further showers, if not longer spells of rain. Will be quite a lot cooler with that, as well as the ridge in the middle of the Atlantic will be forcing the air and the wind of a jet stream into like a northwesterly trajectory. So that is a lot cooler and potentially quite showery for the beginning of August. Let's have a look at CFS League 2. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 17th to 23rd of July. The coming week will have high pressure dominating, bringing wind in from a south-southeast direction. It will be dry and pretty hot in the week ahead until that Thundery breakdown anyway. Week 2 will be the 24th to the 30th of July. The high pressure then begins to move towards the west-northwest. Lower, not low pressure, but lower pressure developing through here. That's a breakdown week, turning more thundery there. Some volatility coming through. Quite a big change for week 3, which is the 31st of July to the 6th of August. Then we have a troughing over Scandinavia. We have blocking appearing around Greenland, high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, pulling a long way away from us. So seemingly that will probably bring the wind in from the north, I would have thought. So it could be quite cool and showery for the first week of August. And then week 4 isn't much better either. That's the 7th to the 13th of August. Low pressure then below average heights, extrapolating back to low pressure, is just to the west of the country, over Ireland and in the Atlantic, so we're bringing in like a west-southwesterly, and obviously that's going to be much more unsettled. Will be quite cool too. The ridge by that point is over across eastern parts of Europe, where we'll be drawing up hot air from the south. So if you enjoy hot weather, I think the message from the CFS there is definitely to make the most of the next week or so, because it looks like there's quite a significant change going on for the first half of August. It may be going over the top with it, but you never really know with the CFS. If you don't like hot weather, I thought we'd just end with this. So you know that the CFS is run 4 times a day. That's the long-range model. And at Meteo Seal, you can see them in like day-by-day charts that extend out over several monthly periods. We look at these on our live streams, on our Sunday. So if you're interested in all of this sort of speculative long-range stuff, then do have a look at our live streams on a Sunday. This is the CFS V2 18Z generated at 6 p.m. yesterday evening, 16th of July. We're starting on the 1st of December. Look at this, you're going to see some very cold charts here. High pressure will be over Scandinavia, and we're bringing wind from the east. So it is going to be turning that would be bringing in much colder air from the east. We move through the first week or so of December, and we start to pull in northeast. You thought this trough low pressure digs southwards. That could bring bring snow with it. This is a very cold and wintry first half to December. We go through into the middle part of December, and we start to draw up something milder from the southwest, but not for all that long. The high pressure then begins to reform. To the north, and it's blocking around Greenland and Iceland. So yeah, I've got 1,045 millibar area of high pressure there around Greenland and Iceland, bringing the wind from the north and from the northeast too. That's moving up towards Christmas, becoming much, much colder for Christmas. That is a cold Christmas, white Christmas probable there, snow coming in from the east. I'm going to get myself in all sorts of trouble for showing you this, because I shouldn't really be showing you this in a sort of regular video. It's the sort of thing we just keep restricted to live streams. But I thought, it's got so much in way of hot weather, hot charts at the moment. I thought, why not end having a little bit of fun with this video. So Christmas Day looks quite cold. There's an area of low pressure digging in from the north. That will either bring rain, sleet, snow across the country. That slips away southwards as we run up towards the new year, so it turns cold again with winds in from the north. These are pretty classic charts, I have to say. And into January, look what happens. So we keep things pretty cold. We start to set up area of high pressure over the country. It's all the time trying to get itself up to Scandinavia. You notice this very deep cold pool sitting across eastern parts of Europe through the first week of January 2022. And look where that cold pool starts to go into the second week of January 2022. If that Scandinavian high bringing in most easterly winds, we unleash the beast. Here we go. Severely cold air pushing out of Eastern Europe across particularly England, Wales and northern France there around the 10th or 11th of January. And then another push of very cold upper air temperatures moving through there on the 13th of January. That's kind of like shades of 87. Shades of the 87 freeze. I'll show you the upper air temperatures with that, shall I? So that's the 9th of January. Look how severely cold it is across eastern parts of Europe around the Balkans. And look what happens as those east winds get going. We bring that pool of severely cold air in from the east, so that by the 11th of January, it's virtually on the day, I think, of the 1987 freeze. By the end of, by the 11th of January, we've got the minus 20 Celsius isotherm there across northern France, just coming into the far south of England. Extraordinarily cold and snowy there with that particular CFS V2 run. I'm going to get myself into all sorts of trouble for showing you that. I really should not show that on a regular video, because that's the kind of thing you like. It's a plug from a live stream, really, for live streams on a Sunday. That's the kind of thing you like, the kind of thing you enjoy, speculation and having a bit of fun with the weather and weather charts and weather models. Then check out our Sunday evening live stream from 6 p.m. Right, we're done then. So, if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. To your friends, family, and everybody else who subscribe. It's amazing. It's incredible. We've got to put on around another 25 to 20 subscribers to get to 11.5k. And then we're officially on the grind to 12k subscribers. And drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. As long as you don't tell me off for showing you the CFS there at the end of the video. No, I know you won't tell me. Right, okay, so that's it then for this one. So, just to tell you what's coming up tomorrow, so we're going to start off with our 7 a.m. broadcast. We're going to have the next autumn update, have GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup, and we're going to be live streaming from 6 o'clock. I will do this live stream. I'm feeling, fine at the moment, so I will do the live stream for you tomorrow from 6 p.m. Where, of course, we have a look at some long range. And probably have a look at the CFS at Metro Seal, and we'll see whether there's any more CFS runs showing that sort of extreme cold in January. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday. It's been a very long video, it's half an hour. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and for this one, that's all for now, though, and thanks for watching.